Mics are still on. Let me double check the mics.
Testicles, 1, 2.
Check, check. Oh man, another one.
Nice.
Oh shit, dropped my wallet.
Oh, table about to fall.
Oh no, we can't have that. Oh Jesus. So, yet again, another struggle just to get to this point where we
Man.
can set up
A whole
a
struggle.
camera. Oh, and looks like something else is off.
Is the camera leaning?
There we go.
There we go. The camera had a gangster lean on it.
It really did, didn't it?
Look, we tried doing this at the library, but somebody's in there taking a very important test for the job. So we had to move out to another location.
Yeah, they were on the phone too. So now we're at the bar.
Yes.
We're at the bar. There's background noise, but you're gonna have to get over it.
Please.
We're probably gonna roll for like 5 to 10 minutes. Then we'll cut it and make sure we got audio and everything.
Hey, that sounds good to me, man.
Because it's a one-man show over here. So we'll start off with welcome to the Duff Law YouTube channel, and I want to thank
Duff Law.
Damien Richard.
Oh, he said my name correctly. Ladies and gentlemen.
Damien Richard, thank you so much for coming and being willing to do this.
I mean, I appreciate it.
And all the flexibility and providing the means of transportation to get from place to place. My goodness gracious, you've been a most gracious guest.
You've been most gracious host.
Oh my goodness.
I'm a character, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a character all by myself.
All right, so I'm going to bring up the notes. We had notes provided by ChatGPT today. This is the first time for doing an outline based off of ChatGPT.
I was actually surprised about it. It was
good,
looked
right?
Awesome.
Yeah, it's freaking incredible. It spit them out in like a minute. And we've already blown through the first part, the introductions and everything. So let's get right into what your background is. Where did you grow up, or were you born into the Army? And you just...
I was born into the Army. Like my father, he did, 22 to 24 years in the Army and retired. So I moved around with him a lot. Well, not a lot. Not as much as my sister did. Because I got an older sibling. But, I grew up right behind him. Sister went, I went right after her. It was great.
So you and your sister were in the Army?
Both of us.
Both enlisted?
Both enlisted.
Nice. How long was your sister in?
She made it 15 years.
And how long did you serve?
I did 9.5.
9.5.
That 0.5 was the hardest. That 0.5.
That last half a year.
That half a year.
I assume your time in the military is kind of what has shaped where you've been going in your civilian adventures.
Well, it actually started when I went to college first. I attempted to go to college first.
I know how that goes.
Because I love school. Education is my biggest thing.
Yeah.
If I can learn something, I am going to try to do it. You should do it too. Because originally I went for computer programming.
Okay.
At A&M Kingsville down in South Texas. Mm-hmm. Got into a little trouble.
Oh, man. Happens to the best of us.
Left there, went to another school, and after that I was like, you know what, I'm tired of school. It's too easy. Let me go ahead and do what I wanted to do and join the military. Mm-hmm. And what that story is, as I was sitting down, picking out my job, picking out what I wanted to do, what station I wanted to go to, I had to get my parents' social security numbers because my dad's prior military, so they have to have the information. So I called my mom up, and she's like, and I was like, hey, what's Pop's social security number? Gave it to me with no hesitation. Hey, what's your social security number? Gave it to me with no hesitation. Then she thought about it. She was like, wait a minute. Boy, are you joining the military?
Uh-oh.
Don't sign nothing till you get to the outside. I know what I'm doing. I'm good.
Yeah.
I ship out on Friday. It was like a Wednesday.
Wow, 2 days notice.
2 days notice.
Wow, that's not too bad, I guess, right?
Yeah, not too bad.
Because
I got the job I wanted.
at that point you were kind of feeling like you were following the family footsteps,
Family footsteps.
following the
I knew
path of your father.
I knew, all the benefits from it and all the bad stuff from it. So I just went ahead and followed the footsteps.
Nice. So, electronics and communications.
Yes.
Is that what your specialty was? And what do you call it in the Army?
I was a signal support system specialist.
Signal Support Systems Specialist.
Yes, 4 S's.
Wow.
It's,
The Quad S. All right.
It's actually called a 25 uniform.
25 uniform.
We're like the Swiss Army knife in communications.
Yeah, I've only had a brief time getting to know you a little bit, and just from the little bit I've gotten to know you, you seem like you're quite the genius when it comes to communications and pretty much any electronics. You were telling me earlier today about how you were fixing some TVs, and that's kind of what led into another role that
Yeah.
you were blessed with in the Army.
Fixing my commanders and officers, TVs when they would break,
Yeah.
put me in the good eye of them. But in the military, I ended up, doing the communications role, and also going into electronic warfare. I got, blessed with a Navy warrant officer that was part of our unit doing our electronic warfare during the transition of the Navy allowing the Army to do their own electronic warfare.
Oh,
So
that seems like a big deal.
it was a huge deal.
Yeah.
I was among the first group to be allowed to be electronic warfare officer.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm in history books,
Freaking paving the way.
paving the way.
Paving the way for future generations of Army people.
So I actually became electronic warfare officer before the Army even had a school for it.
So you kind of in a way wrote the books.
I wrote the books for a lot of things.
Wow. So you are kind of a big deal.
It's all about education.
Yeah.
The more you learn, the more you know, the more good stuff happens to you. See, education.
Always learn.
Always learn.
Always educating. Always being flexible. Not too hard-headed, right?
No, never hard-headed.
And right there, I think is a good point for us to take a break and make sure everything's working.
Yeah, we're gonna make sure this stuff is working so you can
Good
get
to go.
good testicles.
Good to go, ladies and gentlemen. We're back. We got some refills.
You had to get a refill.
We're still at the bar, which I think I like this space.
It's a good open space.
Yeah.
Good to have a good communication. Good view.
So what we just got into was your electronics genius in the Army. How you wrote the books for a lot of this is the triple S, quad S,
Quad S.
quad S,
MOS.
Yeah. Technical expertise. What do you think led you to, that choice of what you wanted to dive into?
Well, actually, when I was actually sitting down with the guy picking out my job for the military, at first they wanted me to be a forward observer.
An FO.
Yeah. They wanted me to do, two-man team forward observer work
Forward observer for artillery.
for the entire
Mortars?
unit.
The whole unit.
Yeah.
I was a mortarman in the Marine Corps.
Oof.
So that's the only term I've ever heard of forward observer is for mortars or
Well,
artillery.
you
I
got-
didn't know there was.
You have forward observers for artillery, field artillery. You have forward observers for intel. And they wanted me to do more of the intel side.
Okay.
And I was like, two-man team, away from everybody else. Y'all
That's like espionage.
you can go to hell. Just like we have this communications thing. I was like, okay, what type of communications? They're like, radios, laptops, your field is broad. I was like, that sounds perfect. That's the type of stuff I like to do. Growing up, taking apart computers, putting them back together.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to come to find out, once I sat down with my dad, after I did all my paperwork or whatever, he's like, what job did you pick? And I was like, they said 25 uniform. He's like, what's that? And I told him signal support, system specialist.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, that's my old job. He said back then it was called a 31 uniform.
Ah.
And I was like, really? He's like, you used to be signal? He was like, yeah, that was my job until I switched over to supply so I can get promotion. I was like, I'm really following your footsteps, ain't I?
Wow.
It was like meant to be.
It's funny you mentioned that. I inadvertently kind of followed my father's footsteps as well, but only in terms of geographical locations that I've been to. My father grew up kind of in Jefferson County, New Orleans, and Tennessee a little bit. But I ended up, right after I got out of the military, I went to be a commercial diver in Jefferson County, New Orleans. And then after I was done with that, after a year, went to Tennessee. Stayed there for 6 months with a homie there. But another thing was he also spent some time in St. Petersburg, Florida, which is where I also went to school for about 3 years. I think it just might be something that, programming. It's all programming.
It's that naturing programming when you're growing up. It's just embedded into your soul.
Let's jump around a little bit. I heard you mention building computers and stuff. And also I've spoken with you a few times about how you have, you've done some PC building yourself.
Yes.
Like for your own
my
personal use.
My own little play around.
So tell us a little bit about what the optimum PC is that you've built.
My PC is almost optimal. Almost. I'm missing the graphics card.
You're subpar on the graphics card?
I'm way subpar on the graphics card right now. Way. Because when the graphic cards that I wanted, when the 3090s came out and the 4080s, and they were way too high, and I did not want to spend that type of money just for a graphics card. You're talking $1,500 to $2,000 for a graphics card at the time. You're like, I don't want to spend that money. I have a 580 right now. Works great. You can play any game you want with it. I can stream with it, do video editing. It works perfect. But you're not going to get the same frames per second. 60 frames, you're good. You're trying to go above that, it's going to kill you every time.
Well,
so the graphics card is the key. If you can spend the money, spend the money. But if you don't want to, it's okay.
Would you say it's probably about the same price point building your own versus buying a pre-built?
To tell you the truth, a pre-built is actually cheaper now.
That's what I was thinking, because I was looking just recently. I've been, kind of scanning the market as to what a good PC would be versus, getting all the individual components to build one. And obviously me being a little bit of a cheapskate when it comes to things like that in technology, I feel like if it does the job, then that's all I need. All I needed to do is what I needed to do.
What I started off with was a $900 PC. It had a Ryzen 7 and the 580 in it. Maybe 16 gigs of RAM, 500 gig hard drive, and a cheap little motherboard in it, and a 450 watt power supply. Only thing I kept from that PC was the processor and the graphics card. And I rebuilt everything else brand new. And it ended up costing me maybe $500. And I rebuilt a custom PC just keeping the processor and the graphics card.
That's impressive.
Because the processor and your graphics card is going to be your most expensive of components.
So let's try to get back on track a little bit with what ChatGPT told us to do.
What does it have us do next?
It's got us talking about transferable skills. Do you feel like the skills and knowledge you've acquired in the Army have been transferable to your civilian life? How long have you been a civilian versus been in the military?
I've been out of military since 2014.
2014, and it's 2023 now, so 9 years?
9 years. So
9 years.
almost even.
Almost even now. So it's
Almost
probably
even.
about the perfect time for this question to be asked.
Yes. The skills I learned in the military for my job easily transitions over to the civilian life. You can't say that about all the jobs in the military, but for my job, it easily translates over into civilian life. Because we're computer admins, we do radio signals so we can work with radio stations or get contract jobs like out here in the Bahamas or in Kuwait doing their radio communications for them, or satellite communications. Or
Satellite communications, you said?
yes, because we do the broad spectrum of anything that plugs in the wall, that's what we work on. And we can go ahead and get our certificates and all that while we're in the military for free. And hey, it transitions over immediately. I'll give you a quick tidbit. Just from my military experience, I worked down on a Microsoft site down in San Antonio. I helped build their entire server system, running all
San
their
Antonio.
Cat 5 and Cat 6,
Yeah.
doing all the punch downs and help building their servers.
You said that was with Microsoft?
That was with Microsoft.
That's impressive.
I went through a temp agency and they just,
Wow.
they're like, can you do this? Yes. I've
Yeah.
done this for years. Oh, perfect. We needed somebody over there. Yes.
Damien Richard.
Yes. Me in there.
He's the man. The man to do it. That's pretty incredible.
How's it for like Marines though?
In what aspect?
Like transitioning from military life to civilian life.
I was actually going to jump in, but you were talking about your Microsoft experience and how that was really cool. So I let you keep going with that. But being a Marine, on my first deployment, I got to talk on a satellite phone, and I thought that was really cool. I was like, wow, I'm talking on a satellite phone to people back home. This is really neat. But yeah, being a Marine, making that transition is definitely, it's been interesting. Because I was a Marine at a very young age. I was just excited to get the hell out of my hometown, be on my own, do my own thing, but at the same time, you know, join the Marine Corps, so you're not doing your own thing. You're not on your own.
Never.
You know, it's, you need to do this, you need to do this right now, or you need to wait for this amount of time. You know, it's everything is very structured, which is why I got out early, so I could begin my adventure into civilian life.
The real life, ladies and gentlemen. The real life.
Exactly, it's definitely been an adventure, which is something I think I've always craved, you know. It's just the journey, you know, whatever happens next. But one aspect of the Marines that I've definitely appreciated is the GI Bill, vocational rehabilitation, education. Education is huge. Like you said, you've been to a bunch of schools, but I think most of them were within the military.
Most of my
Maybe
communication,
half.
specific schools for specific systems, was in the military, but the more broader schools was out of the military.
Okay.
Like I used all 36 months of my GI Bill
Yeah.
going to different schools.
Yeah, that's what I was about to jump in and say. In the Marines, I learned kill, kill, kill. Nothing really that will relate to the civilian sector, but all the benefits that come from joining any branch of the military, I've definitely used and abused
Yes.
by going to all the schools, which was one of my goals, and I'm definitely thankful for that. One thing you did say that I disagree with, you said your training was free. Which nothing is free if you enlist.
That is true.
You're giving your life.
You're giving your life away.
You're giving your life.
I will agree with that one. You're giving your life away.
It's not free.
It ain't
It's
free.
at the cost of your life.
This is at the cost of your life.
But only,
and your
only
body.
for a small period of time. Or,
Well,
or 9 years.
yeah,
0.5.
0.5.
0.5 years.
Well, like with using our GI Bill, I was actually able, to start my electrical engineering until the school shut down. You can go to hell, ITT.
Yeah, I meant to ask you about this.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned it earlier today or yesterday, and
I
should be, if you ask me, you should have a degree.
I was heartbroken.
Be an electrical engineer right now.
I was heartbroken.
I can only imagine. I don't know what I would feel. If I was
Ladies
in
and
your
gentlemen,
shoes.
I was one of the unfortunate few that was actually going to ITT when ITT shut down. And no other school would accept their credits and wanted you to do the entire curriculum over again.
Man.
But I didn't let that knowledge go to waste.
Sweet Jesus.
I didn't let the knowledge go to waste. I'm here. No, we're here. You know
We're
what I'm saying?
here, yeah.
Doing electrical work. Somewhat engineering work.
Yeah, I think it takes a lot of engineering, this place that we're at, this
Yeah.
undisclosed location, that I don't know what we can say about it to the public.
Well, the only thing we can really say to the public is its location and its name. The island and the name.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
And then if you can Google everything else and that's all you can know about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to disclose anything, but I think we've just about covered all of what ChatGPT told us would be a good interview.
Well, cool. Well, I'm going to tell you
other
a
than-
story.
What?
I'm going to tell you a story.
Let's hear it. Let's hear the story.
So it goes back into my education.
Okay.
So the first school I went to was the Art Institute.
The Art Institute.
Once I got out of the military,
Of where?
the Art Institute of San Antonio.
San Antonio. Okay.
I went there for graphic and web design.
I was actually thinking about applying to Raleigh, Durham, in North Carolina. There's an art something there too, but sorry to interrupt.
You're good. You're good. So it was graphic and web design.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, when I went there, I had to take all these art classes because of the design part. And I actually learned there I could draw. And while I was building websites and stuff like that, I was talking to one of my teachers because I want to open up a business and do it myself, do T-shirts, do graphics and stuff like that. And he was like, you just want to do this for yourself, right? You don't want to go work for nobody else. I was like, yeah, I'm working for myself. I'm not going to go work for nobody else doing this. Mm-hmm. He was like, well, good. You've learned everything you need to learn from this school.
From the Art Institute of San Antonio.
Art Institute of San Antonio.
Damien Richard, you know everything you need to know from us.
Yeah. He said, anything else you need to know, you can Google it.
Damn.
And it will teach you. I was there for 1 year and a semester. And I was doing 15 to 18 credit hours per semester.
Sweet Jesus.
I was using the hell out of that GI Bill. I ain't gonna lie. I was using the hell out of that GI Bill.
That's the point of it. Use it and abuse it.
And when I
Just
left,
like the RBUs that abuse
oh
people.
man, yeah, use and abuse, goddamn it. And when I left there, that's when I went to ITT, and then they shut down.
Man,
I got a couple months back from that.
a couple months. They only gave you a couple months back.
Yeah, they only gave me a couple months back.
Man, they should have gave everybody the whole thing.
They should have gave us all our money back and everything.
because you were all scammed, right? I mean,
Basically.
essentially.
They took our financial aid and kept it. It's supposed to
Jeez.
come back to us.
Yeah. Good God.
I was like, you know what, forget it. And end up going to another institute and became an electrician.
Mm-hmm.
So went there, became an electrician, got bored. My other half was like, hey, I'm going to go back. I like your school. I'm going to go back and retrain on, the eyes. Because she was an ophthalmology assistant, in the beginning of her military career.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you know what? I'm curious about the eyes too.
Yeah.
I got some time with my GI Bill. I'm going to class with
I'm a
you.
little curious how the ocular nerves interact
the
with the
oculars.
brain, how light it comes into the eyeballs.
So that's why on my resume, everything's, communications, electrical engineering stuff. And then all of a sudden it just hits them in the side. Ophthalmology assistant.
That's freaking great. Oh, my goodness.
And I actually had to do, I think it was 80 hours
80 hours
of, I forgot what it's called. Not apprenticeship or something like that. But I had to actually go to a eye clinic and work 80 hours for free.
Damn. So what is that, 2 weeks?
Yeah, that's 2 weeks
2 weeks of working for free?
working for free.
Man.
And the best part about it, and I love this best part about it, they had a contract with the VA.
Mm-hmm.
So the peripheral vision test, they would send everybody from the VA there to take their peripheral vision test.
Peripheral vision test.
Yes.
Fun fact about me, I'm red-green colorblind.
Oh, man.
Nothing to do with peripheral vision, but it is something to do with ophthalmology, I guess.
Yes, it does. But on that test, the dot is green.
So I wouldn't see it.
But
I'd
I
have
was
been like, I don't see nothing.
like, the owner of the clinic was like, with my military background, hey, can you take all the VA patients and do their testing for them? I
Oh.
would set up the machine and I would take care of all the VA patients.
Wow.
And I was like, this is awesome. I feel great.
Yeah, that's cool.
This is cool.
That's some cool stuff.
It's awesome. And then I went to one of his closets and he had a lens cutter in there that he hadn't been using.
Mm-hmm.
I cleaned it up, whatever, and I do what I do because I love doing research and figuring out things.
Being an electrical genius / genius with whatever sort of technology you come across.
So I figured it out. I cleaned it out, and he was like, "Hey, can you work it?" I was like, "Yeah, I got the book right here, the instructions.
Like, of course, yeah.
Yeah, let's do it."
Of course, Damien Richard. Just make anything work that's in front of him. It's just no wonder they brought you on here to work miracles.
Work miracles. It was some of the stuff we got. It is miracles.
Yeah.
But he actually started letting me, cut lenses for the glasses. So if they come in with a certain type of vision, mostly single vision, I'll cut the lenses right then and there, put them in their brand new frames, clean them up, and they're walking out the door with their glasses.
That's
And
cool.
he wanted to give me a job
impressive.
so bad.
I bet he did.
He was
I'm
like,
sure he did.
I wish
He
I.
probably didn't even know how to use it.
He didn't know how to
If he
use
had
it.
in the back.
He didn't know how to
sitting
use
there,
it.
He was like, oh.
He was like,
please work here. Please work now.
he was like, I can't afford you.
Yeah.
He said the most I can afford right now is $11.25. And I was like, oh,
Oh.
I was like, oh my God,
That's nothing.
that'll be taken in taxes.
Yeah. Good God.
I said, $11.25.
I don't know about this.
I said, Whataburger paying a little bit more than that right now.
I think I'm
And I went to school. Yeah, Walmart. Okay. Real story, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's hear it.
For a bunch of us military personnel, when we come out of the military, it is hard for us to get simple jobs because of our resumes. I've applied at Walmart 3 times.
Really?
3 times. I just wanted to be a cashier.
Yeah.
I just wanted a job to get out the house, just to do
just
something.
to do, yeah.
Every time they said I was overqualified
Oh,
to be a cashier.
man. That's just a nice way of saying,
We don't want you to come take our job.
yeah, exactly.
And I actually went to AT&T. I wanted to be a phone repair person.
Mm-hmm.
The guy I interviewed with, I think I was like 28, 29 at the time. He was like 23 years old,
Okay.
and we were interviewing.
Yeah.
And he blatantly told me to my face, with my resume right there, he said, I cannot hire you because you have more experience than I do.
I can't bring you on. You're too good.
You're too good. I said,
You will show everyone up. You'll show me up.
I don't want to be the boss. At every job I apply to, I don't want to be the boss. I don't want to be the lead. I don't want to be the supervisor. I want to be the worker.
That's pretty funny because any job that I've gotten, I mean, it might sound like I don't even know what the word is, but I've always tried to dumb down myself in order to just slide
in there. we have to.
They're like, oh, I don't know anything. Please show me how to do this. Oh, please educate me. You know, like I would love to learn about this thing that I already know everything about.
Exactly.
But it works.
Well, I'm an old believer in promoting from within the ranks.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like a military term, but it's perfect for this. If you promote from within, you have more and better quality personnel in your establishment. If you're promoting from outside of the establishment, they're going to resent that person that you brought in because they haven't been there working and doing what you did, and they don't know nothing about what you've done.
Yeah.
I believe in working from the bottom and working your way up.
100%. But you've definitely talked a lot about all of your extensive career and resume. How your resume is like just vast, deep and wide. But what about your personal endeavors? Like I think I remember you talking about a Twitch channel or social media accounts.
Yeah,
or
social media.
Anything you want to plug? Like since we're
SPEX Gaming. I used to have one on Facebook. It's still up. I'm not on there. But I am still on Twitch. It's going to be going back active next year. It's I believe it's still SPEX.
SPEX?
Yeah.
Like spectacles?
Like spectacles.
Optometry? Nice.
I actually got that name from motorcycle riding.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know where my phone is.
Shit.
Oh,
We
well.
gotta find that.
It's probably in my bag over there. Oh, well. But
We could take another break if you want. Or we could just do closing. Because I think we have been going a pretty good amount of
yeah,
time.
we can do some closing.
Yeah, let's close it up. We were just talking about what you wanted to plug in your Twitch and what's coming up next year for that.
Yeah, next year I'll be back on there, gaming, Call of Duty,
SPEX.
SPEX. You can look me up, man.
SPECS?
Yes.
SPEX on Twitch.
SPEX.
SPEX.
Yes.
SPEX.
You can look me up on there. There's probably like 106 followers right now. I lost a lot. Haven't been on there in about 2 years. But it's starting back up next year with new content, bringing my green screen back out. It's going to be awesome.
Hell yeah.
And I'll be getting on there probably with, Duff Law right here.
most likely.
So you're going to see him. It's going to be a great time.
Fun fact, I've had a YouTube channel since about 2009.
Jesus.
So I'm not going anywhere.
He's not going nowhere.
I'll be right here. You'll always find me right here on YouTube.
On YouTube. Every day of the week. Except from Monday through Friday.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But, yo, Damien, it's been an honor.
Man, I appreciate you having me here, man.
I appreciate you.
It's been awesome.
Like I said, dealing with everything, trying to get to this point. And
Hey, this is awesome. We got to do this more often.
definitely, I agree. I agree 100%. But this is the Duff Law Channel, another Duff Law Show exclusive with my favorite guest so far, Damien Richard. Another shout out for Tank Top Friday. I might actually get on there on Friday.
You going to get on there?
And I'm gonna wear a tank top because it's Tank Top Friday. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, tank top.
I got a lot of work to do, but
I got a little more work than you.
all righty. On that note, let's go ahead and cut it.
Where I wanted to go. I think I'm going to put it over there, right there.
Easiest way to get the highest percentage. Well, you hit my ball. I hit yours first. It was such a tight.
Hey, there it is. That's the game. Game, set, match.